Imagine a land that once ruled one of the greatest empires in human history. A land where powerful kings commanded territories stretching from India to the Mediterranean. A land that witnessed the rise of mighty dynasties, devastating invasions, religious revolutions, and modern political conflicts. This is the story of a country that has shaped the history of the Middle East for thousands of years. A land once known as Persia, a civilization older than most nations on Earth. A place where emperors built massive empires, where conquerors destroyed ancient cities, and where revolutions changed the course of modern politics. This is the story of Iran. From the rise of the First Persian Empire to the invasion of Alexander the Great, from the spread of Islam to the Mongol destruction, from powerful dynasties to the dramatic revolution of 1979, and the tensions that continue to shape global politics today. In today's documentary, we are going to explore the complete history of Iran, from the very beginning of civilization to the modern era. Thousands of years ago, long before modern countries existed, the land we now call Iran was home to some of the earliest civilizations in human history. One of the oldest known civilizations in this region was Elam, which emerged around 3000 BC in southwestern Iran. The Elamites built cities, developed writing systems, and maintained trade with neighboring civilizations such as Mesopotamia. But the true transformation of this land began when Indo-European tribes, known as the Aryans, migrated into the Iranian plateau. These tribes eventually formed two major groups, the Medes and the Persians. The Medes were the first to establish a powerful kingdom in the region. However, history took a dramatic turn when a Persian leader emerged who would change the world forever. His name was Cyrus the Great. In 550 BC, Cyrus founded the Achaemenid Empire, the first great Persian empire. This empire quickly became one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. Its territories stretched from the Indus Valley in the east to Asia Minor and Egypt in the west. Cyrus was known not only as a conqueror, but also as a wise ruler. He allowed different cultures and religions to coexist within his empire, which was rare for ancient times. Later rulers such as Darius the Great strengthened the empire even further. Darius built roads, created an efficient administrative system, and introduced a common currency. Under his rule, the Persian Empire reached the height of its power. However, the empire soon faced powerful enemies. The Persian kings attempted to expand into Greece, leading to the famous Greco-Persian Wars. Although Persia was incredibly powerful, the Greeks managed to resist Persian domination. But the greatest threat to Persia came from a young Macedonian king who dreamed of conquering the world. His name was Alexander the Great. In 334 BC, Alexander launched an invasion of the Persian Empire. Within a few years, he defeated the Persian king and destroyed the Achaemenid Empire. The once mighty Persian Empire had fallen. After Alexander's death, his empire was divided among his generals, and the Persian region came under Greek influence. However, Persian culture and identity did not disappear. Eventually, a new Iranian power emerged, known as the Parthian Empire. The Parthians ruled Iran for nearly 5 centuries and constantly fought against the Roman Empire for control of the region. Later, another powerful dynasty replaced them. In 224 AD, the Sasanian Empire rose to power. The Sasanian rulers revived many elements of ancient Persian culture and turned Iran into one of the most powerful states in the world. For centuries, the Sasanians fought intense wars with the Roman and Byzantine empires. These conflicts drained both sides and weakened their strength. Then, in the 7th century, a new force emerged from the Arabian Peninsula. This force was the rapidly expanding Muslim armies. The Arab Muslim forces invaded Persia and defeated the Sasanian Empire in a series of decisive battles. By the year 651 AD, the Sasanian Empire had completely collapsed, and Persia became part of the expanding Islamic world. Although the political system changed, Persian culture continued to flourish. Over time, Persian scholars, poets, and scientists made enormous contributions to the Islamic Golden Age. Great thinkers, poets, and philosophers emerged from this land. However, centuries later, another disaster struck the region. In the 13th century, the Mongol armies led by the descendants of Genghis Khan invaded Persia. The Mongol invasions were devastating. Many cities were destroyed, millions of people died, and vast cultural treasures were lost. For a time, it seemed as if Persian civilization might never recover. But history proved otherwise. Gradually, Persian culture revived once again. In the early 15th century, a new dynasty emerged that would reshape Iran's identity forever. This was the Safavid Empire, founded in 1501. The Safavid rulers made a historic decision that would define Iran for centuries. They declared Shia Islam as the official religion of the state. This decision permanently distinguished Iran from most of the Sunni Muslim world. The Safavid Empire ruled for over 2 centuries and turned Iran into a powerful regional state. But eventually, the empire declined and was replaced by several smaller dynasties. Later, the Qajar dynasty came to power in the late 18th century. During this period, Iran faced increasing pressure from powerful European empires, particularly Russia and Britain. These foreign powers competed for influence over Iran's territory and resources. As a result, Iran lost significant territories and became politically weaker. In the early 20th century, a military officer named Reza Shah Pahlavi seized power. In 1925, he established the Pahlavi dynasty and began modernizing Iran. He built railways, expanded education, and introduced reforms designed to transform Iran into a modern nation. During his rule, the international name Persia was officially changed to Iran. After him, his son, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, became the ruler. The Shah continued modernization efforts and maintained strong ties with Western countries, particularly the United States. However, many Iranians became increasingly dissatisfied with his rule. They criticized the government for corruption, political repression, and growing economic inequality. In 1953, a major political event shook the country. Iran's elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh was removed from power in a coup supported by the United States and Britain. This event deeply angered many Iranians and fueled anti-Western sentiment. Over the following decades, opposition to the Shah continued to grow. By the late 1970s, mass protests were spreading across the country. Millions of people demanded the end of the monarchy. In 1979, the situation reached a historic turning point. A religious leader named Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, who had been living in exile, returned to Iran. Huge crowds welcomed him. Within months, the monarchy collapsed. The 2,500-year-old Persian monarchy had come to an end. Iran officially became the Islamic Republic of Iran, but the challenges for the new government were just beginning. In 1980, a devastating war broke out between Iran and Iraq. This war lasted for 8 brutal years and caused enormous destruction and loss of life on both sides. After the war, Iran continued to face international tensions, especially with Western countries. The country's nuclear program became a major issue in global politics. Economic sanctions, regional conflicts, and political struggles continued to shape Iran's role in the modern world. Today, Iran remains one of the most influential and controversial countries in the Middle East. Its long history of empire, revolution, culture, and resistance has made it one of the most fascinating nations on Earth.